I'm Ann Dart.
I'm Tracy Stormy.
And I'm Kathy Knight.
And together we are
It Was a Dark and Stormy Book Club,
a podcast for mystery lovers.
Welcome. And welcome to Bookends number 20. Tonight we're going to highlight two books. One is Hollywood Homicide by Kellye Garrett, and then we are going to highlight KINFOK Killer by L.V. Nield, Nield. How is everyone?
Cold.
Yes, it's kind of damp and miserable.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get into quite a cold pattern here in Maryland.
Something to look forward to.
We're going to be highs of in the 20s next week.
Nobody tells me anything.
If it gets that high.
We could be North Dakota. I saw they were going to have a wind chill of minus 50. I really can't complain about cold when you hear something like that.
This is how crazy Maryland weather is. 2 days ago it was 50 degrees. Today it was 35. Now it's going to be down even lower, and then it'll jump back up again. We just never know what to dress for around
They
here.
say in Maryland, if you don't like the weather,
Wait 5 minutes. It'll change. The first book we're going to review is Hollywood Homicide by Kellye Garrett. Tracy, take it away.
Kellye Garrett's first novel, Hollywood Homicide, won Agatha, Anthony, Lefty, and IPPY awards for Best First Novel. It's also nominated for a Macavity and Barry award. Hollywood Ending, her second book, is the Detective by Day mystery series, was chosen a Best Mystery of 2018 by Suspense Magazine. Book Riot and CrimeReads, which called it the most fun book of the year. In addition to writing, she currently serves on the National Board of Directors of Sisters in Crime as its publicity liaison. Kellye previously spent 8 years working in Hollywood, including a stint writing for CBS drama Cold Case. People were always surprised to learn what she did for a living, probably because she seems way too happy to be brainstorming ways to murder people. A former magazine editor, Kellye holds a BS in magazine writing for Florida A&M and an MFA in screenwriting from USC's famed film school. Having moved back to her native New Jersey, she spends her mornings commuting to Manhattan for her job at a leading media company, while still happily brainstorming ways to commit murder. She's taking the writing world by storm, and it's nice to see a woman of color in this role because it's not something you see very often. And reading other reviewers, that's what we're very happy to see because she's smart, she's funny, she kicks ass.
Good for her.
Way to go, Kellye. Well, first of all, I would like to thank Kellye Garrett for sending us both of her books in her Detective by Day series. I read the first in the series, Hollywood Homicide, and let me just put it to you this way. If you're in a bad mood and you still want to read a mystery and you want to be cheered up, this book's for you. This book was a lot of fun. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Dana Anderson doesn't set out to solve a mystery. All the semi-famous, mega-broke black actress wants is to help her parents keep their house. After witnessing a deadly hit and run, she figures pursuing the 15 grand reward isn't the craziest thing a Hollywood actress has done for some cash. But what starts as simply trying to remember a speeding car soon blossoms into a full investigation. As Dana digs deeper into the victim's life, she wants more than just the reward money. She's determined to find the poor woman's killer, too. When she connects the accident with a notorious Hollywood crime spree, Dana chases down leads at paparazzi hotspots, celebrity homes and movie premieres. She loves every second until someone tries to kill her, and there are no second takes in real life.
Ooh, that sounds kind of good.
Yeah, this book, I was a little nervous about going into this book because I'm not much of a cozy fan, and this definitely was a cozy, but I have to say, first of all, Kellye Garrett does such a good job at telling a very fun story, and I have to say, not one curse word in the whole book, which really is refreshing. And you know me, not a big fan of the whole gratuitous sex and stuff. There's light romance in the book, just enough to make it interesting. And Dana has 3 friends that she hangs around with. She has Sienna, who is a fashionista who is adept at hovering around celebrities when paparazzi is around. She has Emmy, who likes to stay home surrounded by her computers, where she shops online and hacks into accounts. And then she has Omari, who is a handsome budding TV star that Dana has a crush on. She also partners up with Aubrey S. Adams Parker, who is a bike riding ex-cop PI. I really hope the next book features her more because I think that would be good for her. The reason the book is called Detective by Day is because Dana's friends call her Day for short. When I first picked it up, I thought, Detective by Day, what is she by night?
That's understandable.
Yeah, I thought that was clever. I would say if you're a fan of the Stephanie Plum book, you'll love them.
I like Stephanie Plum.
These have the same kind of vibe, and Kellye does a great job. There's quite a few red herrings, just enough misdirection to make it fun. I will say I did figure it out before the end, but I've read a million mysteries, so that's not anything against her. But she had a great sense of place. You really got the feel for contemporary Hollywood. We read a book about old Hollywood that featured Edna Ferber, and this is definitely a different Hollywood with all the selfies. But I just thought it was so funny because you know how Flo on the Progressive commercial, she's the face of Progressive.
Right.
Dana was the face of Chubby Chicken for 2 years. And the company decided to go in a different direction. She was out of work. And
Chubby Chicken.
Yes, and after being the face of Chubby Chicken, it was a little hard to find work.
She was typecast, huh?
Yes, definitely.
Sounds like. Is she chubby?
No, I mean she's a well-proportioned woman, and she talks about that in the book. The one thing that I really enjoyed about Dana is even though as superficial as Hollywood is, Dana and her friends truly care about each other, and Dana definitely cares about her family. That's kind of what gets her into all this, is because her parents can't afford their house. So like I said, if you're looking for a fun read, this would be a great beach read, or just a lighthearted read. This is definitely a book for you.
Sounds like it'd be fun to read.
And the next book in the series is Hollywood Ending. That came out August 8th of 2018, and it looks like in August there will be Hollywood Hack. Kellye, when that one comes out, send it to us. We'd love to have you on because you sound like a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll meet her at Malice Domestic.
No, she's not going.
That's
Yeah, I already contacted her about that, and she's not going to be able to make it this year. I was really looking forward to meeting her and telling her in person how much I enjoyed this book. But I've got Hollywood Ending sitting on my nightstand, and I'm definitely going to be reading it very soon.
Well, that sounds like a fun book. You'll have to let me borrow it.
Definitely. If you'd like to find out more about Kellye and check out all her books and her bio and blog, she can be found at Kellye, Kellye, Garrett, GARRETT.com.
Okay, Kathy, would you like to tell us about Kinfolk Killers?
Kinfolk Killers is book 1 in the Olive Reader mystery series by L.V. Nield. Prior to retiring with her husband to Vancouver Island, Canada, L.V. Nield practiced law for many years in New York State. Working primarily in elder law, Laura was always aware of the vulnerability of seniors. Laura says she needed a project to keep her out of mischief after her retirement. While wintering in Thailand, the idea of a mystery novel seemed ideal to her. While never having to face senior abuse firsthand in her practice, Laura could imagine a plot including the potential for that abuse. And that's what basically this book is about. After losing her husband, Olive Reader decides to leave the farm she and her husband ran to her son and his wife. She moves to Flushing Village in Queens, New York. That's a senior housing facility. Her twin sister Jean and Jean's sister-in-law share an apartment 2 doors down from Olive. Olive invites Jean and Maggie to volunteer with her at the nursing home rehabilitation facility next door. There they meet Irma Weiss, Elizabeth Billingsley, and Howard Kenner, all of whom have no family to speak of. After Irma tells Olive about a lawyer visiting her and claiming that a long-lost relative has contacted him to assist in reuniting him with Irma, Olive has suspicions. She, Jean, and Maggie decide to investigate and find that Edgar Barnes runs a business called KINFOK, whose main objective is, quote-unquote, bringing families together. Olive's suspicions grow when Edgar Barnes also visits Elizabeth and Howard with a similar story. She then learns that Barnes also visited another patient in the same facility some months previously, and that patient died unexpectedly. But Barnes has laid the groundwork and advised Olive's elderly friends that their business should be kept confidential. Olive feels helpless in her concern for these vulnerable patients. All of these elderly patients are excited and eager to meet their supposed long-lost relatives, and Irma jumps at the chance to go with Barnes to meet hers. Irma suddenly dies after returning early from that trip. Through Maggie's contact at the surrogate's court, she finds that Irma's will had recently been changed, surprise, surprise,
to the new relative.
To leave, most of her money to the new relative, and Barnes is appointed as the executor, so he gets to charge the estate his attorney's fees. And this is exactly what Olive was afraid of. However, all the documents seem to be in order and legal. Then Elizabeth follows the same course as Irma and dies of an overdose. She's a diabetic, by the way. So she dies of an overdose of insulin while she's out of town with Barnes. So Olive resolves to warn Howard. Now, Howard is outraged and he insists on going along with Barnes's plan in order to expose his perfidy. Barnes tells Howard that his unknown nephew wants to meet him and take him to a baseball game in Boston. And Barnes just happens to have business there as well. How will these intrepid ladies put an end to Barnes's evil plans and keep themselves and Howard from harm? The answer is with teamwork and some help from unexpected sources.
Wow.
There's a lot going on in this book.
It really is. It's a cozy mystery. And it's not a very long book. What I really liked is that it didn't veer into the unbelievable with like little ladies breaking into houses or climbing steep mountains.
I can't stand when books do that.
Yeah, as some other authors would try to pass off on their readers. L.V. Nield's many years practicing elder law was clearly instrumental in developing these characters who are not only senior, but believable in their abilities and their limitations.
Being an elder, I can relate to some of the stuff that goes on. It's amazing the crap people try to pull on vulnerable people.
Oh, yeah.
It's maddening. Definitely want to read this one.
Laura thankfully never encountered a situation such as occurs in Kinfolk Killers. Of course, elder abuse is common. And Laura shines a light on this very distressing practice and brings the topic into the public spectrum. Kinfolk Killers also portrays elder people as being intelligent and vital in a society that does not necessarily value its seniors. So I applaud both of these reminders and hope her readers will take the message from the book to heart and spend time with older folks, soak up their life histories and their acquired wisdom.
Yeah, so spend time with me.
Give us all your wisdom, Anne.
I'm doing a podcast with you. What do you want?
You want all my wisdom?
You spread your wisdom.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether we like it or not.
Haphazardly all over the place.
Yes. Well, that sounds like a great book.
We say over and over again, but it's so true. We have really encountered some amazing authors doing this podcast that I know for a fact I would have never, ever read if we wouldn't have had this podcast. So I'm so grateful every day when I get to pick up a book that I know nothing about and I'm pleasantly surprised.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Well, I just really like the focus of this book on the elderly. And this is the first in the series. So Olive and I assume her sister and her sister-in-law will be solving more crimes. As a matter of fact,